You are a very fine actor. You started, you've been acting for a long time. Right?
Long time.
Like, a very long time. You started when you were 4 or something like that?
5 drama class, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you started off as in dance. And
dance was my love. We started off, we went to ballet, lasted 1 class, because what the fuck is that about? And what are we doing? We're doing too much. Went to jazz, loved jazz, but I needed a bit more structure, a bit more girth, and had anger to release. So we landed in hip hop, guys, and street dance, and that's what I did.
I mean, that's a world I don't know very much about.
No way.
The world.
Never guessed.
Yeah.
It's giving Tupac.
So you hosted dance shows as well. So people saw you hosting dance shows.
Yeah.
And you were funny, and so they said, become a comedian.
They were like, why don't you try a comedy? That's literally how it happened.
Yeah.
And then my friend and I were walking back from a dance rehearsal, and we saw at New Cross Comedy Theatre that they did comedy courses, and I was like, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a good comedian. I'm just saying I'm on this podcast.
Well, you are a good comedian.
Thank you.
I've seen your show, and also you won the Funny Women competition, which is a big competition.
Yeah, that was nice. I was worried that day, actually, really worried. I was scared of competitions.
Right.
Took a long time to do competitions. 6-7 years I took to do competitions. Yeah. I was like, no, audiences are telling me I'm funny. I don't need 4 disgruntled people to confirm that I maybe not be. So I just didn't want to do that. I didn't. And then I finally did it. Won Funny Women, so that was great. Then I did the Bath Comedy Festival, and I came 3rd. And then I did the BBC Comedy Festival, and I got disqualified. So that was fun.
Why did you get disqualified?
And I ended it there. I'm done. I've won 1. I'm doing too much. Let me tap out. Let me just tap the fuck out.
What did you do, Thanyia?
I ran over time a little bit, but I ran over time because the audience were laughing. Like, isn't that the point? I was so confused. And the judges were arguing with the organizer. The producer was like, I can't have her doing that because if she runs over in the final, which is live, it's going to mess up the schedule. And I was like, I get it, but also if the light isn't at the back behind the sound desk, I might see it.
Yeah.
I might see it. So I got disqualified.
Okay.
And ended my competition career.
Well, that's a very good competition career anyway. You don't need competition. So me and Katie came to see you, I guess in Edinburgh 2019, was it?
19.
Yeah. And I was you were basically doing a shared bill.
Yes.
You did half an hour of the show that you were hoping to do in 2020.
Yes.
So something happened to make that not happen.
Yeah.
Which was a shame because I thought it's really stuck with me, that half an hour.
Oh, that's
nice. What I
nice.
really loved about the show was it was a show, and I think you're going to do more with it. It was about being a bully.
Yes.
Which is not something that many people acknowledge.
No.
And most people wouldn't talk about. And yeah, I've always thought most people have been bullied, and most people have also bullied other people.
A lot of people came to me afterwards and they were like, oh, I'm so glad someone's talking about it.
Yeah.
All of us are bullies, first of all.
Yeah.
And the reason why I did the show, it's not to highlight being a bully. It's not fun to be a bully. It's to highlight why people are being bullies.
Sure.
And what we should dig into and how we should learn to respond to that. Because what we do as a society, we're told to look after the person who's been bullied, okay? Their life is fine. That's why they're being bullied, first of all. That's the truth. It's jealousy. It's an innate anger inside of you that makes you deflect onto the person who looks like they have the life that you think you want.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, it often is, and I think that's they're not to say we should have sympathy for bullies
not
per
to say
se,
like that,
but there is. I think you're looking for the root causes of why it happens. So it's interesting for you to.
And if we have more spaces for people like that to spend time in, like we have, when you see organisations like. Charities that help people who have been bullied. If we have more spaces like that for people when they're younger as well to go and express themselves, they might be able to get the tools they're not getting at home to fix their behaviour. Just by telling them off and making them miss playtime, it doesn't fix their behaviour.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Just by calling them horrible names and sending them home doesn't fix their behaviour.
I think that's true. And I really, I remember being bullied, but I also look back and they're the things I think people tend to forget about or conveniently forget about, where you go, actually, I did pick on that because I might be bullied by someone, you know, it's the nap. So you would,
it generates.
or you just thought you were joking about someone.
This is it. It was not a joke.
But to them, you'd think, no, that wasn't a joke.
Learned that lesson in uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a big deal. So yeah, I've made a show out of it. I wanted to do an hour.
Yeah.
We couldn't do the hour. And then by the time we got back to Edinburgh, I was over it. But also, more importantly, I was going to make it, because it was a serious subject.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it too light. Whilst the half an hour was fun,
Yeah.
I had a thing on my chest about looking like I was glorifying bullying and being insensitive to the plethora of people who have been bullied.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going to make it into a theatre show.
Sure.
And have a serious piece that will be quite funny in parts, right? And then my agent was like, babes, this is a TV show, stop being weird. And so now I've got a pilot and I'm writing it to be a TV show.
Good, that's great.
Well,
I'm really glad, because I know you did something, you came back in last year in Edinburgh and did a different show, which was about just trying to be funny and work out who you were, which is fine. But I, you know, I thought there was something very interesting in there. There was a connect, and forgive me if I've got this wrong in the haze of the years, but there was a connection with the guys arrested for Stephen Lawrence, is that right?
Oh no, we just went to the same school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's kind of interesting as well. So
well, I wasn't there at the time. I had come just after they left.
Right.
At the time when I went to school, they had families still in the school, sisters and cousins and stuff. And there was a big racial divide.
Yeah.
Me coming from Lewisham, New Cross, South East London, and travelling all the way to Falconwood in Kent to go to school meant that there was not a lot of us, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And at the end of school, those of us from our side would come up to fight them. There was a lot of fighting around that time. A lot of problems. The police obviously weren't looking out for us. I say obviously, some of you might still be ignorant to the idea that they're bullies, but they are horrible and they were doing lots of different things. I was pushed and punched a couple of times by police officers telling me to get out of the road. I was on the pavement. That was wild.
Yeah.
And I was 12. So it was a strange time.
Yeah.
Really strange time.
Yeah, but there's so...
But you make these things funny.
Yeah, but there's so much in that. And that's, you know, that's why it's such an interesting subject. And again, just because of the way the media works and comedy works, it's not something you're going to hear about very much from many people. So it's terrific that, you know, that show is going to turn into something.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a comedy, by the way, guys. It's not, let's get that out. It's a comedy. I just think I think I'm really lucky to be able to turn horrible situations into fun scenarios that we can all enjoy.
Yeah.
And I feel like now I'm just like, I've got a hard on for it. Anything that happens hard in my life, I'm like, we're making this funny, guys. So yeah, my new show is about a really bad thing that happened to me last year. I'm just making it funny, because if not, I just think you'll sit down and get depressed over it. And I just think, I don't want depression. It doesn't look cute. It doesn't fit me. I don't want it.
But yeah, it is. I mean, this comes up obviously a lot when we talk to comedians, because most of us will take the worst things that happen to us and think, what's the funny angle? But it is also a valid way to cope with if you've been through something difficult. To find the funny.
Kind of bring awareness as well.
Yeah, of course.
We need to learn to talk about a lot of different range of things that make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
When really we all experience it. We're all just sitting in our cupboards being like, oh my God, no one should know. We're all doing it about the same things, you know. We're all going through all the things.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're human.